The American dream of owning a home is slipping away. Interest rates are through the roof. Housing prices are out of control. And don't even get me started on insurance and property taxes.
Here I come, the government. And I get to take 40% of your lunch. And that, Lauren, is how taxes work.
That's not fair.
You're learning. Uh-oh. Capital gains tax.
Here's the truth. While most people are busy getting crushed and staying in the rat race and going to that job that they hate, investors, especially real estate investors, are getting out of the broken system and winning. And you can be one of them too. I'm going to go through a few reasons why we are seeing America become a renter nation and why it's becoming so unaffordable, especially for you young people who are just getting into the workforce. How in the hell are you going to afford these houses? First of all, interest rates have doubled or tripled for everybody. And this is pricing buyers out of the market, especially first-time home buyers. A $300,000 house with a 3% interest rate was affordable just a few years ago. But now, that same house, assuming it hasn't gone up in value at all, is at 7% interest, and it's no longer affordable for most people starting out. Now interest rates are almost 7% or higher, and this makes that same $300,000 house no longer affordable, especially for first-time home buyers, especially for you W-2 income earners who are working for the man. You guys are just in trouble.
I'm in danger.
And adding to that, guys, home builders aren't building at the rate that they need to keep up with demand, thereby causing a housing shortage. We see that on the island of Puerto Rico to the tune of 250 or 3,000 homes. There just hasn't been enough investment on the island to compensate for the amount of homes that are needed. And so that artificially keeps the price of housing up, because there's not enough investment. There's not enough real estate investors out there renovating existing buildings or building new homes. It gets even worse, guys. There's been an explosion in insurance prices, and we're seeing that right now with the fires that are happening out in LA, where people lost their insurance just a few months ago, because these insurance companies, they're not stupid. And if they don't have the ability to raise their prices, and some of these governments dictate what they can sell insurance at, they just leave markets altogether. And so what happens when there's a tragedy? People's houses burn up. They don't get the insurance. This causes a rise in the price of housing. This causes more pain in the market. Because even in the state of Florida, where I'm from, we've seen insurance costs double or even quadruple. We're talking 2, 3, 4 times as expensive this year as it was just a few years ago. When you add all of these things together, it makes buying a home very, very difficult for the average Joe. And guys, at the same time, with the rising interest rates, the rising insurance, the lack of housing on the market, we're seeing property taxes go through the roof, just adding one more huge cost to buying a new home. All of these costs have skyrocketed. You know what hasn't skyrocketed? Wages. Wages can't keep up, and the truth is they never do, right? When we have these inflationary times where we see these massive increases in prices and everything, what we don't usually see is a massive rise in wages. Although wages may rise, they never rise fast enough to keep up with these costs. That's why when my parents were buying a house, they could afford a brand new house on a salary of about $20,000. And now you, who's watching this video, the 20-something who's getting out there into the market and wanting to buy their first home, you need to be making $250,000 just to be able to afford a regular house, a starter home. I see in the comments, like every single day when I'm putting out these videos about becoming a real estate investor, they somehow want to tie it to the real estate investor and make us the villain, when it's really the opposite. The real estate investor is who can increase the number of homes on the market. The real estate investor is the people who can invest more into an area and have a downward pressure on the home prices. We call them real estate investor superheroes, and we want you to be one of them. I get it, guys. I know what you're going to say in the comments. Our jobs don't pay enough. Or if you're on the island of Puerto Rico, you're going to tell me that the average salary is only like $35,000 a year, and how can they ever afford anything? I absolutely understand it. I think you're in a broken system. I want to encourage you through these videos to get out of the broken system. I'll tell you like this, if you're working for minimum wage and you think that you're going to be able to actually live a decent life working that job, I got news for you, brother. It's never going to happen. That minimum wage is never going to be high enough that you're going to be able to buy a house, that you're going to be able to get married and have kids. You've got to get out of these broken systems. I'm giving you permission now that if you're working for the man and you hate your job working for minimum wage, Do something else. At least pick up a side hustle. Look into becoming a real estate investor. Don't be afraid to think differently than everybody else. If you want to just think the way everybody else does and keep that job that you hate and keep going there for the next 20 years, then don't bitch at me in the comments about why you can't afford anything. We are value add real estate investors, and we're encouraging you through these videos to become value-add real estate investors, to get out of the broken system and to get into a different system. It requires you thinking differently. It requires you taking the bull by the horns and doing something on your own. You can't rely on the man to give you a higher wage. It's just not going to happen. God forbid those of you that think that the government's going to come around and save the day. Man, tell me when the last time it is that the government came around and changed anybody's life in a positive way. Put it in the comments. Whose life is better off this 4 years after Biden was just in office? Hell, whose life was better off 4 years after Trump was in office? It doesn't matter who's in office. If you're relying on the government, you're really fucked. So if you're watching this and you don't want to accept the new normal that the U.S. is going to be a renter nation, and you don't want to be renting a house until you're well into your 30s or 40s before you can buy your first home. And guys, I know that it's demoralizing to get up and go to work hard 40, 50 hours a week and come home and not have enough money to be able to get out of your mother's basement. That's a terrible life. I don't want that for you. I've got a better way. There's a twist. Here it is. Real estate investing can truly bridge the gap. You can get out of the broken system. You can start to live the good life.
The American dream is dead.
First, it's going to take a mindset shift. Guys, if you're not ready for the mindset shift, none of the other stuff that I said will work. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to be willing to go out there and work your ass off. The mindset shift that we're looking for is that of one who is looking to be a homeowner to that of one who is looking to be a real estate investor. And you'll get to be a homeowner if you are a real estate investor. Here's what you can do if you want to be different than 99% of the other people out there who watch this video and are just gonna think, oh, I can't do it. Yes, you can. I believe in you. There's greatness inside of you. So stop chasing the white picket fence and becoming a homeowner and start thinking about cash flow. Let me tell you what I would do if I was a young person just starting out and I wanted to, one, be a real estate investor, and two, be a homeowner. I'd consider a house hack. What's a house hack? House hacking involves buying a small multifamily property, or as big a one as you can find and afford. But generally, we're going to do 2-family house to 4-family house. Why 2-family to 4-family? Because those properties will qualify for all of the good loans, the FHA loans. So we know that interest rates are through the roof. We talked about that earlier in the video, but you can still go out and buy a duplex, a triplex, or a quadplex and get an FHA loan. And guess what? You can use the income from the other units that you're not living in to help you to qualify for the loan. Does that make sense to you guys? This is vital. You need to hear this. So if you're looking at a house that's going to cost $300,000 and the bank tells you you only qualify for $250,000 for that single family house that has absolutely no income, and you can go buy a triplex for $350,000 and use rental income from the other 2 units that you're going to rent out and not live in, now you qualify for more of a house. You also get the benefit of living in a place that becomes an investment and having the other renters pay off your mortgage. What a beautiful life. Now you're a real estate investor and a homeowner. I've got another strategy for you. You don't just have to do the house hack, and these strategies will stack up and you can use them together. If you're really a genius, a real estate investor superhero, consider looking for seller finance deals. So now you don't have to qualify with the bank at all. Some people would call it sub 2, and you could maybe take over somebody's loan who bought a house a few years ago and got that amazing interest rate down around 3% interest, and they're looking to get out because they need to move on to somewhere else. You can take over their loan without even qualifying with the bank. It's called sub 2. You can make the payments directly to the bank on their loan and give them a little bit of going away money. You buy a house, you didn't qualify for it, you can afford it because it's got the lower interest rate. Boom. That's nice.
Nice.
The third thing, seller financing. You can go and find a seller who's got no mortgage, offer to buy their house, and put them in the place of the bank. We like to call that buying a house on terms. So what does that look like? The guy's offering the house out there at $350,000. You offer him his price, and then just give him a set of terms that you're buying the house on. Whatever you can negotiate, the better the deal it is that you can negotiate, the better the deal that you get. Hey, real estate investing isn't rocket surgery, and the money isn't even the most important part of the thing. I just laid out 3 different ways that you can buy a home even when you don't think you'll qualify, and you can get other people to pay for it. Real estate investing is the greatest investment tool on the planet, in my belief, because the money is so easy to get. When you've got a great deal, the money will find you. Hey, if you're serious about getting started and you want to become a real estate investor and you want to quit that job that you hate, I'm giving you permission to do that. I've even got a community over on School where you can meet other people who think just like you, who want to get out of the rat race, who want to learn with you, they want to network with you. You may find a business partner inside of our free School community. All you need to do is click on the link in the description. It's called the Flip Flop Flipper Real Estate Investor Community. We'll see you over there. Hey, and once you get in there, send me a DM. Let me know that you saw this video, and we'll set up a strategy call. I want to be a part of your real estate investing story. God bless.